my friend. Welcome to Next Level Women, the podcast for ambitious women who are ready to rise, take consistent action, and reach their next level in business, in life, and in purpose. I am your host, Joy Rowland, your next level mentor, here to help you build confidence, consistency, and courage so you can finally follow through on your dreams. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Next Level Women podcast. I am so glad and I'm so grateful that you are here today because today's episode is going to speak to every woman who has ever felt stuck. I speak to so many people who tell me they are so stuck, they have goals, but somehow they are unable to make the next level in their business, in their life, in their career. So if you know you were meant for more and you are still stuck, you're not making the progress you want to make, this episode is for you. Now, we are almost in November, so this is mid-October, and very soon we will be closing the year. And for many people that I have spoken to, they've told me that 2025, they haven't hit their next level yet. Maybe you set goals at the beginning of the year and you haven't hit those goals yet. This episode is for you. So today we're going to be talking about the roadblocks to your next level, the hidden fears, the beliefs, and the patterns that quietly hold you back from your next level of success, from your next level of fulfillment, from your next level of impact. Because here's the truth, the gap between where you are now and where you want to be is not strategy. I'm going to say that again. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be isn't strategy. It's not that you are lazy. It's not that you are unmotivated. It's the hidden, invisible stuff, the inner resistance that whispers, what if I fail? What if I actually succeed? What if I am not ready yet? Those questions that we ask ourselves at a subconscious level, those are the things that keep us stuck. So today we're going to shine the light on those roadblocks so you can finally move through them and fully step into your next level, because that's the goal of this podcast. We want to help women all over the world. I speak to women all over the world, and my goal is to help you step into your next level. A number of people, just by implementing the strategies I teach on this podcast, they've completely transformed their lives. And I feel so blessed that the work I create on this podcast is having such an effect. So I believe that this episode is going to bless you, it's going to touch you, and it's going to help you get to your next level. So let's start with one that surprises most people. The number one roadblock I see is the fear of success. Most of us think we are afraid of failing, and don't get me wrong, many people are afraid of failing. But most often, what we're really afraid of is what happens if this actually works? What happens if all of my effort showing up on social media, all of my effort reaching out to clients, what if I succeed? And that fear of success is what holds so many people back. Success changes things. Right? It brings new responsibilities. It brings new visibility. It brings new expectation. And many times it brings new people into our lives. And so that success and all of the things that will change as a result of the success keeps us stuck because we are afraid. We are afraid of getting to that next level. When you succeed, it shifts your relationship. Friends you used to have that were kind of mediocre relationships, those relationships will fade away. And so, because of all of the, I want to say, side effects of success, we as human beings, we are afraid of all of those side effects. And it can challenge you to think about who you are now. And so deep down, you might start to self sabotage right before your breakthrough. You hesitate, you doubt yourself, you procrastinate, you tell yourself, who the hell am I to achieve these big things? Or you tell yourself, I just need more time, when really you are just scared of stepping into the next level, stepping into the version of yourself who is capable of so much more. So that fear of success keeps so many people stuck. People procrastinate, they hesitate on showing up online. I remember a season in my own business when things were finally clicking. My content was landing for people. Clients were coming to me, opportunities were showing up, and I just froze. I started to overanalyze everything. And I realized that I wasn't afraid it wouldn't work. I was actually afraid it would work, because success means stepping into more visibility, being more visible online, being more visible on podcasts. It meant showing up bigger. It meant being seen by a lot more people. And being seen feels vulnerable. Being seen feels like you are being judged more. But here's the thing, you are not actually afraid of success. You are afraid of losing what feels safe. So, right now, your current life feels safe, and you fear subconsciously that if you succeed, all what you have been so accustomed to, what you've been so used to, they will disappear, and you fear that change. That change of next level is, that fear of the change is what keeps you stuck. Your next level requires you to outgrow the safety you created for yourself. It requires you to choose growth instead of remaining in the status quo you are right now. Now, let's talk about the next roadblock. And this is what many people can relate to. It is the fear of failure. This is one of the biggest dream killers. Most people don't realize this, but the fear of failure is really about the failure itself. It's about what it would mean. So you might think, what if I fail? If I fail, people will think I am not good enough. What if I end up wasting my time and my money? What if I look so foolish and people just laugh at me? And so, this fear of judgment, this fear of what other people will say if we fail, that keeps us stuck. So, for example, maybe you have been trying to run a business for so many years and you've kept your dream private, you've kept your dream secret because you fear that if your family members knew you were attempting to build a business, then that will put a lot more pressure on you. And then, if let's say the business didn't work out, you fear what your friends, what your family members will say, and so you don't even tell anybody that you're running a business. You don't show up boldly. And maybe on LinkedIn, you don't post and you say, oh, I don't want my boss at work to see that I am trying to run a business. The reason is you are afraid about it not working. You're afraid that if it didn't work, you would have just put yourself out there for nothing. There is something my coach says. Brooke Castillo, the founder of the Life Coach School, she says that even if we don't hit our goals, we are a lot better off for having tried. And that is what I have realized in my own journey of business growth, in my own journey of getting to the next level in my life. I have seen that when I have boldly put myself out there and just run after my goals with full commitment, with, I want to say, tunnel vision. When I have done that, I have realized whether it works or not, I am a better off human being. And that's why I want to encourage you that the pursuit of your goal, the pursuit of your next level, whether you succeed or not, and by the way, failure is success in disguise, right? So I enjoy failing. I am not afraid of failure. I know that the more I fail, the faster I get to my success. Failure is not a verdict. Failure doesn't reflect on you badly. Failure is simply feedback. As business owners, as women trying to get to the next level, the failures we face on our journey is actually feedback. It's feedback on what we need to tweak to try again. And you've heard this so many times about Thomas Edison, the person who um, founded and discovered the light bulb. He said, because legend has it that he has failed 10,000 times before he finally succeeded in creating the light. And when people asked him, he said he didn't fail 10,000 times. What he did was find 10,000 reasons why it didn't work. And I think that's such a powerful perspective for all of us as we build businesses, as we build our careers, as we attempt to go to the next level. The failures along the way is actually feedback, is actually learnings. Like, I keep going back to my own journey. All of the failures I have experienced actually propelled me forward to where I am today. I have learned from all of those failures, all of those businesses I tried that didn't work. They the experiences I got from those failures has helped me to become the woman I am today. So I want to encourage you, if you have been so afraid to fail and that fear of failure has kept you from showing up boldly in full, I want to say your full flow as your person, the person you are, I want to encourage you, embrace failure. It doesn't hurt. I know our brains try to convince us that failure is a bad thing, but we have to use our prefrontal cortex, which is the executive part of our brain. We have to use that part of our brain to override the toddler brain. I call it the limbic brain, right? The limbic brain is the same brain all other animals have, but what differentiates us from all other animals is we've evolved the limbic brain. We now have an additional part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. And that prefrontal cortex is what we can use to override our limbic brain when we are afraid, when we doubt ourselves. We use that prefrontal cortex to override the limbic brain. I have had offers, many offers that have flopped. I have had launches that didn't go to plan. I have had moments that were so embarrassing. Like, I can't begin to describe all of the embarrassing moments I have. But every one of those failures, every single one of those failures has refined me to who I am today. It has taught me to think differently. It has taught me what to do differently the next time. Like I said, failure is just feedback. You get to tweak what you're doing to adapt, and then you try again. That's what I value about my journey. That's what has helped me not to be held back by my failures. The women who rise, who avoid failure, they don't, if you avoid failure, you're not going to rise. The women who rise, they fail forward, they fail faster. They let that shape them, not shame them. Many of us allow failures to shame us. No, let your failures shape you, propel you forward to your next level. That's what builds unshakable confidence. Okay. I want to talk about the trap of previous success. For many people that I speak to, one thing that holds them back from their next level is their past successes. Sometimes what got you here is exactly what's keeping you from going to your next level. You've built something good. Maybe you have a comfortable life. Maybe you have a comfortable salary. It works. It feels comfortable. And yet something inside you knows that you have outgrown your current state. But instead of expanding, you stay stuck. You stay attached to the busy work you do in your business. You cling on to the old version of yourself, the safe systems, the routines, even the identities you've built based on your past success, because they once made you feel safe, they made you feel successful. I went through this myself. There was a point where my old strategies were giving me just decent results, but I knew they weren't aligned anymore. That what worked in the past and maybe was still working, it was holding me back from stepping into that next level. And I had to make the hard decision to let go of what was working to step into what will work for my next level. It's like trying to step into a bigger pair of shoes while clinging onto the old ones in your hands. Well, you cannot move forward if you're holding on to the current pair of shoes you're wearing. Your next level requires a new identity, not just action. Sometimes the biggest act of courage is to release the old version of ourselves that achieved the last level of results so that we can become the woman who leads to the next level. I'll give you an example, and this is just from very recent, like just a few days ago. Um, I had just been thinking about my own next level, and I came across someone who she's doing amazing. Her name is Nani, and by the way, she has agreed to come on this podcast. So I'm going to interview her. I think maybe next year, early part of next year. And so I have been thinking about my own next level. And so I came across Nani and I loved what she's currently doing in the corporate space. And she has a program where she's going to help me to craft my offer for corporations. So for companies and organizations. That is definitely next level for me. Having to work with corporations, having to work with big companies. That is going to be next level for me because I currently work B2C, right? I work with coaches, consultants. I help them design the back end of their systems, their funnels. I help them land more clients. That's what I do currently at a B2C level. If you don't know what B2C means, it means business to consumer or business to customer. And now, what Nani is going to help me do is to craft my offer for corporations so I can teach my framework to thousands of women at a time, which is incredible. Now, this has called for me to enter my next level. Now, okay, so during one of our calls, Nani asked the question, what is your freedom number? And for me right now, my freedom number is $5 million per year. And she said, okay, how much have you achieved so far? And so far, I told her I have done, my best year has been $480,000. And so moving from $480,000 to $5 million, it's gonna require me to enter my next level. And I'm so excited. I have joined Nani's program, and she's gonna help me craft my offer. So instead of selling 5K packages, so I do $5,000 for 6 months, or if people want to work with me one-on-one, I do $10,000 for 6 months of one-on-one coaching. So instead of doing that, she's going to package my offer so I can start channeling my offer to corporations and closing 100K at once. Like, how crazy is that to be able to charge a corporation $100,000 for 3 months of coaching in their organization? It's just crazy. And it's calling for me to enter my own next level. And so to enter that next level, I'm having to shed all of the things that has worked for me in the past. The strategies that worked for me to be able to make $480,000, that strategy is not going to take me to $5 million per year. Okay. So that's an example of how some people allow their past successes to hold them back. Now, don't get me wrong, $480,000 per year is sizable, but as women, and this is what my coach Brooke Castillo says, we get to decide how much we want to make. At this point, I feel like money is a game of numbers for me now, and I am compelled to stretch myself to the maximum potential that God has put inside of me. So that is where I am now. As I step into the next level, I want to know how much more can I achieve? And that's why I encourage you to do as well. That as you stretch yourself to the next level, do not allow your past success to hold you back. the last roadblock I want to talk about is feeling like you need to do this alone, or thinking that you have the capacity and capability to do this by yourself. It is possible to figure this out by yourself. Many people do this by themselves. The only thing is, it's going to take longer. Many people are so afraid to ask for help. Many people are so afraid to ask for support. Oh gosh, I have never been without a coach. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how many coaches I have invested in throughout all my journey. I challenge you, ask yourself, what's the most you've invested in yourself, in your growth? Right. So I love to talk about the mastermind I was part of that was $25,000 just to be in that mastermind. How much have you invested in yourself? So if your goal is to make $50,000 per month, and somehow you think that you can figure this out on your own, it is possible, but it is so much faster if you get the help of somebody who has already been there. And so the roadblock I see so many people being held back is they're afraid of investing in themselves. So instead of trying to figure this out on your own, I want to encourage you to hire help. I want to encourage you to find support to get to your next level faster, because the best thing you can do for yourself in your business, in your career, is to be in momentum. When you have someone guiding you, giving you a blueprint, giving you a roadmap, and keeping you accountable, you are in so much more momentum and you're taking action. And in my experience, that is the fastest way to get to your next level. So, the best thing you can do after listening to this podcast is to go find help. Okay, stop trying to figure this out on your own, whether that is reaching out to someone you've been thinking about working with, or if you've been thinking about working with me, reach out to me. If not, find somebody else that can help you get to your next level, because I find that so many women are so stuck. The weeks become months, the months become years, and before you know it, 5 years has gone past and you're still at the same level. So I want to challenge you, I want to encourage you to hire help to get you to your next level. So, how do you break down these roadblocks? How do you move past all of these roadblocks that we have explained? How do you finally step into the next version of yourself? I'm going to give you 4 shifts that's going to help you. Number one is awareness. You have to notice your patterns. Like, look at all of the things you have achieved, your behaviors, your habits. What have you been doing that's actually stopping you from your next level? Pay attention to when fear shows up, right before there is a big opportunity, or right after you have a big win. When you start to feel or you start to think, oh, I'm going to be so seen right now. Just that point when you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm about to step into my next level, or I'm about to step into a very big opportunity. I want you to notice what comes up for you, because until you become aware of the roadblocks that have been in your way so far, there is no way you can change. So, awareness is the first step to change. Number two is to reprogram your beliefs. Start catching the old thoughts and start rewiring them in real time. So, gosh, this is something I learned from the life coach school, and it's something I practice every single day. So, don't wait until the next day to journal in your journal. I want you to start catching your thoughts, catching your beliefs real time, right? In the moment. Ask yourself, what thought am I thinking right now? So when fear says, what if I fail? You respond back and you say, what if I fly? In the moment, in the moment when that thought comes, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail. And then you ask the part of your brain that says I'm gonna fail, you say, oh, but what if I succeed? It's going to catch your brain by surprise. And when you start to ask different questions, you start to get different results. When doubt says, you're not ready. I want you to reaffirm to yourself, I was made for this. So it's almost like having a rebuttal for every doubt, every fear that your brain throws at you. So I want you to do this real time. I want you to be able to catch your thoughts in the moment. I want you to be able to catch your belief system in the moment. And I want you to rewire that thought immediately. Don't allow it fester. So if that thought tells you, what if you fail? I want you to then ask, hey, but what if I succeed? Okay. So practice doing this real time. It's a meta skill. The third um, tip I want to give you is to take embodied action. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about it, it comes from doing. Small, bold steps rewire your nervous system to feel safe in success. So, I want to challenge you to do one courageous thing every single day, no matter how small it is. You're beginning to signal to your mind that you are the person that takes courageous action. You are the person that takes steps towards your goals. You are the person in momentum. And once you start to give your brain evidence to the contrary of what your brain has been telling you for a long time. So let's say your brain has been telling you, oh, you are so lazy. Oh, you're not going to move to the next level. I want you to take one courageous step every single day and then start giving your brain contrary evidence and say, oh, I am actually the woman that can take next level steps. Tip number four is to surround yourself with next level women. Community is everything. When you surround yourself with women who are stretching, when you surround yourself with women who are rising, and when you believe, your standard starts to shift. You start to see what's possible for you. So inside of Nani's mastermind, I told you I just joined a couple of days ago. Nani's mastermind, she structured it as a $55,000 offer. That's how she structured it. Her $55,000 offer, and she's given women opportunities to start at $1,000 per month, right? So imagine I'm so grateful. I'm now at a level where I can invest in a mastermind for $1,000 per month. But for many of you, just starting with a $97 membership is so difficult for you. Inside of the next level women, we've made membership just $97 per month. And for so many people, they struggle with investing $97. Like it's just crazy. You tell me your goal is to make 10K per month, or your goal is to make 20K per month, and you cannot invest $97 in a membership that will help you take you to the next level. There's nothing else I can say to you. Like, the question is, how serious are you about hitting your goals, right? So, being in community is so, so important. Like, I'll keep giving you examples of myself because hopefully I want you to see what's possible for you. So inside of this mastermind I just joined, there's so many incredible women. One of them is called Ashley in Africa. So Ashley is a powerhouse of a woman, and inside of the mastermind she was celebrating, she made 25K. She closed 25K clients, two of them back to back inside of this community. And so as we celebrate what she has accomplished, it shows us what's possible for us too, right? So just go, if you want to find her, just go on YouTube or Instagram and search for Ashley in Africa. She's packaged that offer in such a way that she helps Americans invest and relocate to Africa, because that's what she has done for herself. And so for many of you who keep asking yourselves that you have no offer to bring to the world, I want to challenge you. What's a transformation you have accomplished for yourself? So, for example, for Ashley, she's relocated from the US to, I think she's in Tanzania. She's created an amazing life for herself, and now she's helping other Americans do that. So, what transformation have you experienced for yourself, and how can you help other people do that same thing? Like, that's how we build amazing businesses. For many of us coaches and consultants, we are our past clients, right? So, for example, inside of my next level membership, I am helping the women that used to be where I was. Why? I know that community got me to where I am today. I know that being in the same space as women who are doing amazing things is what got me to where I am today. Networking, finding your tribe, finding people who lift you up on days where you feel down. There are days I feel down too. There are days I doubt myself. There are days I'm afraid. But because I am in these masterminds, these women pull me up. And that's what community is. As all of us inside of the membership, we have one collective goal to pull each other to the next level. And because I have experienced this myself, I am wanting to create an environment where other women can get to the next level. So I want to challenge you. What's something you've been through? So for some of my clients, Michelle, she's been through a narcissistic relationship and now she's helping other women who are in terrible marriages. She's helping them overcome. So, question to you, what have you been through and what can you help people with? And you can charge thousands of dollars to work with the right people. So, as we close today, I want you to remember this: your next level isn't waiting out there, it is already inside of you. It's the version of you that chooses courage over comfort. It chooses faith over fear. It chooses action over perfection. The only thing standing between you and your next level is the willingness to face what's been holding you back and still take the action anyways. If this episode spoke to you in any way, I want you to take a moment after listening to write down one fear that's been holding you back and one bold action you're going to take this week to move forward. And if you're ready for support, structure, sisterhood, belonging, to keep you accountable on this journey, then come join us inside the Next Level Women membership. This is where we rise together, we do the inner work, and we take consistent action towards our next level. Because you are not meant to stay where you are today, you are meant to rise. All right, my friend, I love you, I believe in you, and I'll see you back here on the next episode. Hey, look at that. You made it till the end. If this episode spoke to you in any way, do not just let the inspiration fade away. Turn it into action. Come on, join me inside the Next Level Women membership. There is no contract, it's month to month, and you get to cancel anytime. And many people stay because of the transformation. The Next Level Women membership is where you will get weekly coaching, accountability, and a sisterhood of women who are walking this journey with you. This is where you will stop doing it all alone. You will start rising with support and community. This is where consistency becomes natural, confidence becomes effortless, and your goals finally become your reality. Use the link below to join me now inside the membership and step into a community that will help you reach your next level. And you might find your new best friend in the community. You might find your new clients in the community because you get to promote your business. You get to promote the things you're working on. And hey, if today's message has inspired you, please share it with another woman who's ready to rise. And don't forget to leave me a 5-star review, because when you leave us reviews, so many more people find the podcast and more women join this movement. Until next time, remember, you are not behind. You are becoming. Sending you lots of love. I truly mean that. I'll see you next time.